I click my name and go to watch stream, or hover over my name and go to watch stream. Welcome everybody. Today is the 25th of November, 2020. I'm Max Farrell. This is DexFXMarkets.com. Besides, George stands up here with the aha. It's going to be an aha meeting today. And that's good news for all of you. Now, I want to quickly show you a couple small things here that I want to talk to you all about. And if you're watching the screen, you should be able to see the screen right now. If you're watching after the fact, you should see my one of the pairs that I'm utilizing AudioSD on the master system here. We have a lot of things involved with our company. For the past 7 years, we have been fighting to get to the data. String the data. That's all I've ever said. Just string the data, get the data in, and it will produce a line of success for you. Some of you that are in this room are privy to what I'm talking about. That over the years, we have slowly worked the data, not to show us the levels we wanted, but to show us the right levels that we needed to be. Our biggest flaw was that we just had too much stuff everywhere. You know, we had SR maxes, we had daily signals, we had all that stuff. So we slowly started to trim out. And I'm not saying that COVID was a good thing, but to force us to kind of really squeeze out the essence of what we really needed from this system, it needed to be able to be simple, it needed to be able to produce and to be robust and be trustworthy. It needed to be tested, it needed to be worked on, it needed to be validated by others, not just myself or David or Chris or what have you. Even though that David is not part of this company, he doesn't own the company. He's just a client, just like all of you guys. Well, more than that to me personally. But if you've been paying attention, between him and Ron and many others, there's been validation to the system, just at the plain, straight dexatomic level. The straight, plain dexatomic level. If we pull up that system, this one right here. At this level, this dexatomic series system here, as an indication that we've talked about, as the support and resistance lines, has the arrows up and above, validated, non-validated. It's the raw of raw of raw. At this level, you can make money. Some of you get in there, over-speculate, under-speculate. You think too much, you don't think enough. I get it. All levels. Those that get it, move on. They get it, and they move on to the next level. The next level was the Dexatomic X. This is the next level. Now, those that get it will be able to move on to the next level, which is what? What is the next level from here? Well, that could be the Zedon, or the next level is actually just being able to set a handful of trades a day very easily and pick the right level. I think if I were to poll the people that are in the room right now, I could easily ask them, what is your most trying process that you do? And I bet you're going to tell me that it's choosing the level. That when you get there, the arrows are simple, this is simple, but what level should I choose? Should I choose medium, low, or high risk? Which level should I choose, Max? Because when I choose this one, it seems to fail on me. And when I choose that one, I go from this one to that one, and I'm all over the place. So secretly, a couple of months ago, before I got sick, a month ago in the beginning of October, I was watching a video of this idiot. His name is Max Farrell, from like 4 years ago. And we're sitting here talking about 3060 or 3070. We're having a conversation in this video because I was cleaning house. We're having a conversation with a group of people. And somebody said to me, Daryl Martin uses a 3070 mentality because it breaks even and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, really, inside that meeting, I said, well, actually, it's not 3070. That's the break even. It's actually 30. It's 3565. That's the break even, because if you win, you win $33. And when you lose $66. So 33 is a 2-to-1 ratio. That's really a 2-to-1 ratio break even. And they're like, well, no, you got to wait and you got to scalp out. And I was like, well, Dallas scalps, we don't scalp. So the best ratio we could ever get to and hope for in a system is a 2-to-1 ratio level. And I was talking in this meeting that way. And as I was cleaning that house and I listened to that statement, myself saying it, I went back in and I said, okay, let's reevaluate. Where is the best level of average? The tonality of what I'm referring to here is as we've created that box, okay, as we created the box of average, right? So if you have the box and it has 4 major elements, what are those 4 major elements? The left and the right, which is time, right? And then the high, the low, and then what? The mean. We always talk about the mean. In our case, the mean of the mean, basically like quarter mean or eighth mean, whatever you want to call it, that's where we're really looking at now. Oops. So I'm not looking at the high or the low risk. I'm looking at what? The medium risk. Now, what I started to look at as well, and I'm going to kind of move this over. I'm sorry I don't have my pen tool written out well enough, but I'm going to try to do this best I can. And I want you to think of it this way, that the mean, no matter what level that we choose, whether it's the high risk or low risk or medium risk, this statement is still true on all levels. If my statement price is right around there, and I decide that I want to do 40, let's just say I want to do 45-55 mentality, right? I'm just going to say that. The price has to come super, super close to the statement if this was a sell, right? We all agree with that? That if I do 45-55, that the price has to come very, very close, within a pip, or actually the line. Our strategy tester tests to the line. Okay? So what we hope on was that it would get close or go over and then come back down and win, right? This is where when we win 45. When we lose 55. Or when we win 43. And when we lose, we lose 56. This is the level that we hope on with this pullback mentality. Now, those that do this, say out of 100 trades, there might be 40 that do this. So out of that 40%, we need to have at least a certain amount of percentage of success at this level. With the 35-65 mentality, the price only needs to come back to about 3 pips, which we've proven so far. And those trades that go above and beyond have to come back down. You're still losing the same amount of trades. Like if we run the strategy tester and it's a 70% success. 70% success at the strategy tester, whatever the number is that we can, whatever pair it is, doesn't matter. Let's just call it 70%. We run the strategy tester. And we're running it when the actual trade hits at 45, right? So it doesn't matter what the number is. We know that if it hits the line, it's going to be bought, right? Ron, I'm going to mute you just for a second, buddy. You need out, let me know. If the price hits the line with the statement price that we have over on Nadex, we know that it's getting bought. So we can go back through data and look at that and say, okay, if the price hits the line, we know that that got bought. No matter if we have it at 45 or 35 or 55 or 65 or whatever. We know that if it hits the line, it's ATM, it's getting bought. So let's just say worst case scenario, we run the strategy tester and it comes back 70% with the price hitting the line. It does not matter of market price. What we don't know are those pairs that come out and come real close to the pair. We know that if it comes real close, within 2 or 3 pips, a 45-55 won't get bought. So the lower the profit margin, the least amount of close that it has to get to the statement price. But too far away doesn't give us enough profit margin that if we do lose a couple, we go from 2 to 1 to 3 to 1 almost immediately. At $35, we're a perfect 2 to 1 ratio. That if I lose 1, I have to win 2 back. That's for break even. If I go a little higher, I could probably get away with maybe not 3 pips, but 2 pips until I'm back to that $45 level again. So we know that if we run the strategy tester at 70% here, at 45-55, this is probably what we can depend on, right? 70% success at 45-55. But what happens if we want to do even better? So as I started to back it up a little bit, 38, 37, 36, the best number that started to come out was $35 profit margin. So 35.65. Then I did something this morning, is that I asked a question and it was answered by a couple people that are here testing. I said, grab a pair and go back to November 1st and put it on medium risk. Got me? Put it on medium risk. And when the pair starts, if it comes within 3 pips of the statement price, treat it as a fill. Like this one right here, this one went over it. So this one definitely got filled. And when it expires right here, looks like it won. This one, 123.18, 123.20. So this one filled and won. This one filled and won. This one filled and won. This one filled right there and won. This one filled and won. This one filled and yay, there's a loss. So 5-1 so far. So you go back and you look at your prices. All right, that one lost, that one won, this one didn't sell, that one didn't fill. You go all the way back to November 1st and you test it out that way. Test every single trade that came over, every single signal that came over, whether you could do it or not at this point, and test it. Tell me what you come back as. David went and did, first off the bat, Audi USD. Came back at 72% success rate, $1,995 won, $1,430 lost with a profit delta of 565. I did Euro USD, came back at 875 delta. He went out and did USD JPY for 490 delta. This is only since November 1st. Here, we just found out right there, 1246, not too long ago. Great Britain Pound USD, 70% success as well, 375 delta. Now, what this means is that this one contract at a time. One contract at a time. Now, how do you know if this will work for you? Here's what I want you all to do. I don't want you to focus on anything else. Not 1 minute, not 5 minutes, not 5-minute trades, not 2-hour trades, none of it. Don't focus on any of that BS right at this moment. I'm calling it like I see it. I want you to go into your Dex Effects Markets X. I want you to put validation on 5 minutes. You do the 4 pair, the 4, it doesn't matter. Just keep it on the 4. Do medium risk. You could do from 1900 to 1600 for the 5 master pairs. On the other pairs, the minimum that you have, the maximum that you can do is 0800 to 1400. Okay, so if you're doing a Great Britain pound JPY, that's the only times you could do that. Looks like that one got it in 1. This one, 139. Yep, this one got picked up in 1. So you can only do it through those times. This one got picked up and 1. Look at that, beautiful, beautifulness. I love it. No trade there that day. Trade in 1, trade in 1. Oh, did that one win? Sorry, I'm addicted to this stuff. I'm sorry. Nope, that one lost. So that one lost. This one got picked up right there and 1. So you go back and you check your time. Now, if you can't trade during this 8 to 1400 time period, then find a pair that you can. Grab yourself a pair, come up to the little cogwheel, and change the time. If you don't know how to read military time, go figure it out. You can't trade from, say, 1800 or 1900. Let's say you can do the first level of trades, which is 1900, and you can only trade to 2300, which is 11 o'clock. Then go ahead and do that. Okay, this is the only time you can trade, and then take it back and see how many can I get into, how many will fill and win. And if you got to trade, if you can only trade during a certain period of time, then you may have to trade more pairs. See, like this one didn't get one in. This one did in 1. This one did in 1. This one lost. This might be a hurtful day for you, November 19th. This is the only one you did. But remember, the less that you can trade, the less timing that you can trade, you're only trading from like 1900 to 2300. This is something different than just, hey, Max, let me turn it on and see how much money I can win in a day. There's a polarization here. If you use the medium level, pick one, pick the middle, use it, and call it close. If you choose to go with high risk, you're going to have to trade more. If I choose high risk, choose the same one, but you're going to have to trade more to get back. The 45.65 might work for you at this point, or maybe another level. Okay, if you're doing 35.65, the high risk might be the one where, you'll fill a lot more times. You'll fill a lot more at the 35.65, but you'll lose more. But you'll have more trades. Like I was telling Chris today, $1,100, low risk, certain amount of contracts at a time. If I went with the medium risk, I traded 10% less trades, still made the same amount of money. Did high risk, there's 20% more trades, still made the same amount of money. I say stay with medium risk, 35.65. Trade the top 5 pairs, 4 pairs, 3 pairs, whatever you can afford to do. You got to remember, if we're not talking about automation yet, still talking about just manually. You get the signal, go in, find the pair that's closest to this price. If it's a sell, you go higher. If it's a buy, you go lower. Put it on for 35.65 and walk away. Don't look at it. Don't touch it. Don't smile at it. Don't wish that you could throw more on it. If it goes against you, don't get panicky. Don't try to buy more at different levels and all that other nonsense. Just do it. Grab your pair, but use the medium risk. Find your time period that you can trade. If it's only from 9 o'clock in the morning to, say, I don't know, 2 o'clock, 1400, then okay. And then go back through the system. If it comes within 3 pips. See, this one, this one was losing the entire time until the last bar. And then finally won right there. That's crazy. That's one of those ones where you're jumping up and down at the end. But then it didn't fill for the rest of the day for you. But if you go back down the list and hit that same time period, you know, from 9 to 1400, how many times you trading in there? There's a win, and there's a win. So the day before you won 2. On the 20th, you won 2. Here you won 1 by the skin of your teeth, but you didn't trade on the other one. So that's 3 wins after 2 days. 35. There's 30. There's 33. There's 66. 99. There's $100 in 2 days. 1 contract. No trade there. No, November 19th. No trade there. I hope you guys are getting this. There is a loss and there's a loss. 2 losses in a row. So your days are going to be, sometimes you might have, like, there's a win right there at the last second, picked up in 1. So the 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th, and 20th, that entire week, not a bad couple of days. But overall, 70% is the average that we've been seeing about right now, 70% plus. Medium risk, 35.65. You could try to temper it out to be other things. 36, 37, 38. I wouldn't go higher than 38. But one trade does not a pattern make. That's not what we've done here. We didn't just see this today. I've been studying this now for weeks. Now finally, we have enough proof. Finally, I'm not the only one licking the glass window and saying, okay, I got a beautiful mind here. This is what I want all of you to focus on. This is what I want all of you to go back through your trading style. Go back through your system, choose your time. And if you can sit down, now how long does it take to do a trade? If you're only trading the top 5 pairs, it shouldn't take you long at all. It should take you a minute to 2 minutes to get through all 5 and get them into and over on Nadex. In the meantime, the bot for ZDON works. Still got a couple small nuances, still working them out. Still working the bugs out. Not going to be able to get anything into your hands before Thanksgiving. It doesn't need to be. And then into beginning of next week, there'll be a handful of VIPs that will have access to the process. But manually, you should not be doing anything other than medium risk, 35.65. You guys know what that means. 35 on the sell side, 65 on the buy side. When you get your contracts and get your statements on. Try to get as close as you possibly can to the number here without going, if you're in a buy, don't go above. And if you're in a sell, don't go below. Okay, don't go into the trade. If you're pushing it by one pip in just so you can get that one, that's up to you at that point. But my suggestion is to stay true to the pair. And if you don't want to trade it, don't trade it. What about Newsmax? None of this. David, did you use news avoidance at all in your numbers when you were validating?
No.
Okay. So you just went straight at, here's the numbers off it, even with news.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, neither did I. I didn't use any news avoidance at all. Don't put more variables and speculations into your trades. These lines don't take news into consideration. They just take price action. If anybody is here who has a problem understanding this medium risk line, everything is set through the variables in this system. Time frame, easy. Decimal points for the alert. Risk type, medium risk. Time period, this is the time I want to trade, and send for alerts. Activates this, you put the alert out, you choose your pair, you choose your direction, once per bar, like I show you in the training, and you hit create. You'll get an email. That email will say, Great Britain Pound USD, 3 o'clock expiry. Here's the price that you're supposed to be closest to. Run over to Nadex, put your Nadex trade on. If it's a sell for $35, for a buy, $65. And you go from there. For every $650 made, you trade one contract at a time. Never have more than one contract on per $650 in your account. You're trading in demo. You'll trade under the guys that I would probably, whatever you feel you're going to start with in your live account, that's what you pretend to trade with in the beginning. There's a reason why this account has $123,000 in the demo, because this shit works. I've been working on it for a while now. But does that matter to anybody? It shouldn't. What you should be in and doing is getting your own level, your own timing to trade. I'm lucky I have access to the bot, which I can make it trade 50, 60, 70 times a minute if I wanted to. And for all you junkies that are out there that want 2 hours and 1 hour and 5 minute trades, this mentality works on them all. I hope you hear that. This mentality works on them all. Now, the further out, like on a 15 minute front time frame on a 2 hour trade, you may get like within 6 pips. Within that first hour, if you could probably get into maybe about 6 pips, it'll pick up those trades. Was it 1600? Okay, so this will change a little bit inside the 2 hour margin. You have to be a little bit more careful. 33.15 to 33, yeah. So these numbers are, if you get a little closer, you may not fill as many in a 2 hour. But do we got to worry about all that nonsense? I'm telling you now that the system works extremely well on the 1 hour trade system set at that level for medium risk, 35.65. And we have other people in there proving it. David Medding and myself are not the only ones. And pretty soon we'll come out with a comprehensive list. So your job, if you choose to accept it, is to take over the next couple of days throughout the holiday. Even if Nadex is closed and all that stuff is closed, you could still go through. And if this pair gets within 3 pips, how can you tell? There's 33.46 is the lowest it's gotten. It's as close as possible. That's 33.44. That's in 3 pips. That means that trade came down, picked up, and filled. And why do I know it's 3 pips? Because I have enough data to say that if it does come within 3 pips, it's actually getting bought. This one may not have gotten bought because it didn't come within 3 pips, but this one did. And this one definitely did and won. This one did and lost.
Hey, Max.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put on a trade, just if you want a live example, the USD JPY.
Mm-hmm.
on the medium risk, and
Right.
you'll see how it dropped down. I don't know if you want to
The
use that or
USD
not.
JPY.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, there it is.
yeah. So that's what so I'm in that trade right now, but just to show that just to give a live example of.
Well, that's an easy one. It touched the line. If it touches the line, you're in. Okay. That's an easy
So
one.
yeah,
The values here now are more about practicing on getting in and doing your working order and getting it on. And it's just playing the numbers. That's it. That's all you're doing now. Just playing the numbers. None of you should be here questioning, well, what level should I go? Should I go with high risk or low risk now? Now it's just follow this rule. And at the end of December into the new year, at the end of that time, if you're not ready to go live at that point, or before then, even then, take the next week. If you're not ready to go live, then we have to start talking about that fear of trigger pulling. You got to get in and start doing it. David could probably speak to that. That's the hardest. That is the hardest thing to do, is to say, okay, I have to trust myself to do this. I have to trust myself. I just came off a stint of doing demo where I'm doing 10 trades at a time, or 10 signals, or 10 contracts at a time. I'm living in la la land. And then all of a sudden dropping down to making $35 for the day. That's the toughest. To see past all of the stair climbing that you have to do to get your account up. But once you're at it, once you start looking past the number 35 as a dollar sign and rather a unit network, then it becomes the reality. You don't have to chase anything. You just got to follow the rules of the game. Oh yeah, well Max, if I get into this one here, there's only a contract that's up about this side, so I think I could do that. Yeah, I could probably do it. You're gonna start making agreements with yourself on where you could break those rules. That's up to you. But you cannot come back and say, well, it didn't work for me because I broke the rules all the time. And you have to get in there, follow this rule set, medium rule risk, 3565. I'm going to drill it until you do it. And I challenge any one of you that are watching this after the fact, that are watching this right now, if you're using anything else, but if you're having success doing what you're doing right now, then ignore everything I just said. If you have found something within your life, within this world, excuse me, of our system that's working for you, that you're making money with, then you stay with that. But if you want something simple, if you want something that's rudimentary, that you just go in and work, and you don't got something that's working for you already, then this is where you'll be. 3565. All right, I think I drilled this home. If you're watching this after the fact and you're watching this online and you're in our system yet, but you're not paying, or you've paid a lifetime and you're not paying utility for the system, we're going to be requesting you to do so. You should be getting in. We put out we put out something yesterday for 3 times the amount. So if you're paying $100 or $50, what have you, to go for 3 times. We've had a lot of people take us up on it. So we're going to request that many more continue to go out. If you're watching this and you're not paying, every cent that you pay right now will go for your monthly times 3. So if you pay $50, that's like $150 worth of money for you. And I'm doing that because I want to get you all past the holiday season prior to, so you don't have to worry about any utility fees, or the company has to worry about chasing you for money or anything else. But you're going to have to be paying soon. And when the time comes here in the beginning of the year, listen, if you're not making money, we're not making money. So you got to start asking yourself, when can you start getting in there and making money? Sit down with myself or with Chris or with Thor. and get through this process. Get into making money. The real money is now to be made because we've done all the legwork. None of you should be in here saying, well, Max, I can't seem to make it work, because everybody else is making it work at 35-65 right now. There's others that are doing it at other levels, 45, 55, and those kind of things, but they're really having to look at the analysis and the process. What somebody can come in off the street right now and be making more money than you just by following 35-65 on medium level. And I'm not talking just going and try it for a day, folks. This is going to take a couple of weeks for you to get behind and find out your time period and find out your best solution for your best session. All right, I'm going to let you all go. I want you all to have a great holiday. My family and I have been under a tremendous amount of toil over the past several weeks because of COVID and this world, but I'm taking the next couple of days just to really appreciate the level of intent that they've all put forth for me to make sure that I get better and that I'm here. And all of you that have just been in constant support of myself and my family, thank you so much. I can't thank you enough. And as the holiday season comes in, and whether or not you're with 5 people or 6 or 20 or 0, I want you to realize that you are all my family. Everybody that's here now and everybody that's watching, I've done this. I've worked so hard for all of you. The only thing that I ask is that you do the best you can do to follow these rule sets that we've created, and that we all make money, and be upfront with us, be honest with us, let us know what we can do to help. You guys have a great day. Have a great holiday. Be safe. And we'll see you over the next, probably by next Monday. You'll hear a lot more from us with a lot more stuff coming. Have a great holiday. We'll talk to you soon. And as always, trade well. All right. So